Have you ever wondered what people really think about you? What if, one day, you woke up and could hear everyone's thoughts? Every single one. Your friends, your family, even strangers on the street. Sounds like a superpower, right? But what if it's not as amazing as it seems? Welcome to What If Scenarios, where we stretch the limits of imagination. Today, we're diving deep into a world where your thoughts are no longer private, and neither are anyone else's. What if you could read minds? Get ready, because this isn't just a superpower, it's a game changer. At first, it's incredible. Imagine walking into a room and instantly knowing who's genuinely happy to see you, and who's just faking it. No more awkward guessing games. You'll know if that person you've had a crush on secretly feels the same. At work or school, you become unstoppable. Your boss is thinking about the exact answer they want to hear in that meeting. You've got it. That tricky exam question? You're listening to the smartest kid's thoughts. Negotiations? Pfft. You know the lowest price the other person is willing to offer before they even say a word. Dating? You'll know immediately whether someone's into you or just being polite. For the first time ever, life feels easy. You know the truth. You're in control. But control can be a dangerous thing. Next up, the truth you never wanted. At first, you think, this is amazing. But then, the thoughts you hear aren't always what you expected. You overhear things you were never meant to know. Your best friend? They're smiling at you, but deep down, they're thinking, I wish they'd stop talking about themselves so much. Your coworker? They nod along during your presentation, but their mind says, this idea is terrible, but I'll let them fail on their own. Your family? You hear their worries, their doubts, about you that they never had the courage to say out loud. And it's not just negative stuff. It's everything. Private thoughts, embarrassing secrets, things people only say in their heads because they never wanted anyone else to hear them. At first, it's like eavesdropping on the world's juiciest gossip. But soon, it feels like a curse. Because the more you hear, the more you start to wonder, do I even want to know what people really think? And then it hits you, the real problem. You can't turn it off. At first, you thought you could control it, tuning into just the people around you. But now, you're in a crowded cafe, and it's like being hit with a tidal wave of thoughts. I hope they like me. Did I leave the stove on? What's wrong with my hair today? I can't believe I forgot their birthday. Hundreds of voices, all at once, all the time. Even when you're alone, it doesn't stop. The neighbors' thoughts seep through the walls. The people on the street outside? They're random, fleeting thoughts drift into your mind like static. Sleep? Forget it. You close your eyes, but the noise is still there. Your mind is no longer your own. As days pass, something changes in you. You don't trust people anymore. How could you? You know what they're really thinking. That polite smile? Fake. That compliment? Just empty words. Even your closest relationships start to feel different. Do they really love you? Or are they just staying because it's convenient? You'll hear things you wish you could unhear. But it's not just about them. It's about you too. Would you still be the same person if you always knew what people were thinking? Would you be honest? Or would you start manipulating situations to get what you want? Imagine knowing the exact weaknesses of every person you meet. The temptation to use that information for personal gain, for revenge, would be overwhelming. And when you start to act on that knowledge, are you still a good person? But here's the real kicker. It's not just the little things you'd hear. You'd stumble onto secrets, dark secrets. Maybe you overhear someone planning to hurt someone else. Or you discover a loved one's deep, hidden pain they've never shared. What do you do then? Do you confront them? Do you intervene? Or do you pretend you don't know? What if you hear someone's thoughts about committing a crime? You'd feel responsible to act, but how do you explain how you know? Would people believe you? Or would they think you've lost your mind? The power to read minds sounds like a gift, but too much knowledge? That's a burden no one should have to carry. So, let's say you've had this power for a week. You've heard the good, the bad, and the ugly. You've learned things about people you wish you could forget. And now, you're faced with a choice. Would you keep this ability, knowing it could drive you insane? Or would you give it up, returning to the blissful ignorance of not knowing what people really think. Some say knowledge is power, but maybe, just maybe, ignorance really is bliss. So, what would you do? Would you keep the power to read minds, or would you let it go? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't worry, we can't read your mind yet. If you enjoyed this mental journey, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and zap that notification bell so you never miss another what if scenario. Until next time, keep your mind sharp and your thoughts to yourself.